Hey guys, welcome to Your Band is a Business, the channel where I talk about the day-to-day realities of being an independent musician. So I'm going to try something different on this channel. I'm going to do a weekly vlog, a diary as it were, where I just talk about what I'm up to in terms of practically releasing music, gigging, promoting my music, networking, all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to just share what I'm up to. I will include timestamps so that people can skip to parts that they find interesting. But the most important thing I should warn you about is that I am not going to make heavily edited videos. I'm not going to be doing flashy graphics because, well, I'll explain in a moment exactly why. But if you are interested in what it's like being an independent musician in order to learn along with me, to get your own music out there, to build up a fan base, then it will be of interest to you. But like I said, I'm not going to do fast cuts and stuff like that. I'm literally going to be sitting here talking, sipping on my glass of water, and yeah, I'm using my webcam, so sometimes it will go in and out of focus. The point is, it's going to be about the content and not the presentation. And I know a lot of people will just switch off after that, but you know, it is what it is. I want to focus on stuff that is useful and practical and not worry too much about the presentation. And I'll go into a bit more detail. So I'm going to cover several topics. I'm going to talk about the plans for this channel. I'm going to talk about what I've been up to musically in terms of the music I've released, how it's been going in terms of promotion, gigging, networking. I'm going to talk about how I went viral on TikTok, but very soon regretted it. And yeah, and I'll talk about future plans for my music. So there's going to be some practical stuff here that hopefully that you can learn from as an independent artist. Now, but what I'll start with first of all is the plans for this channel. Well, what has been going on with this channel, my initial ideas for it, how it's all been shaking out over the years, and what I plan to do with it going forward. So it all started when I guess the name came into my head first and foremost. Your Band is a Business. I thought that's a great name for a YouTube channel. And I realized, okay, I'm a musician and I'm trying to get my music out there, and I want to learn the practicalities of how to do this. And I'm not famous, obviously. I want to share what I'm learning as I go along and have a conversation with other musicians and learn from them and just build a community where we can build each other up. My frustration was that there were and there still are a bunch of music marketing gurus out there, music business gurus, and don't get me wrong, you can learn a lot from them, but not all of them actually have experience of doing it for themselves. And by that I mean writing a song, performing it at an open mic night, recruiting musicians, organizing a gig, putting your music out there, interacting with social media. Now, they have experience. A lot of them have experience being social media gurus, and they might have experience coaching other people, and that's all well and good, but they don't have the practical experience of doing it themselves. Some of them do. Some of them used to be in bands, or some of them are music producers, have a studio, but a lot of them don't. And that's, you know, I'm not necessarily throwing shade at those people, because and I'm saying this without being snarky. You know, in sports, for example, some coaches never really played the game themselves, or they only played it at an amateur level. But they're still great coaches, and some of the best sports coaches that ever existed never really played the sport above amateur level. So that is definitely a thing. It is definitely a thing. But sometimes, you know, some of these gurus say, well, first you need to write great songs, right? And you know, that's not such an easy thing. Oh, just write great songs. Oh yeah, of course. Why didn't I think of that? and then they'll say, and then you find a bunch of great musicians. Oh really? Is it that easy? Because in my experience, first of all, it's hard to find people like drummers and bass players, let alone those that are responsible enough to turn up to rehearsal, that don't have substance abuse problems, musicians that don't decide actually I'm going to quit and join another band. There's all these practical realities that are just glossed over by marketing gurus. Oh, just for your first gig, get all your friends to come down. My friends have got other things going on. Like maybe I can get a couple of them for the first gig, but after that, it's way different how your friends treat you as a musician versus strangers, and that kind of all those practicalities just get glossed over by some of these gurus as if it's just a thing, it's just a given. And in my experience, that's all. That's the hard stuff, and that's what I want. That's what I experience, and that's what I want to talk about, and help myself, help other people, help each other get past those pain points. So anyway, that's been the vision for the channel, and I've released videos sporadically over time that have to do with that, and also kind of tangential topics to do with making music or the music industry at large. Now, the issue for me was, as I said, I want to be someone that is doing it and talks about what they're practically doing. And I found it difficult when there wasn't much going on for me musically. I thought, well, I don't want to talk about stuff that I'm not doing myself. I don't want to be somebody that's talking about the theory but isn't putting it into practice. So I sometimes found it hard to justify putting out content if I wasn't doing anything. And then what else was I going to say? We had the situation, for example, with COVID. So I had a band, and then obviously that couldn't go ahead. Now what ended up happening is that I started making music solo and releasing it solo, even though somebody else was mixing it, but I was making it all at home on my computer. So that was a good thing. That meant, okay, I can continue to talk about making music and releasing music. And so even now, okay, COVID's over, but now that I know that if ever anything like that happens again, then there's no reason for me to stop making music, and that means this channel can continue. But on the other side as well, when I'm busy with my music stuff, so I'm organizing gigs, recording, releasing music, promoting the music, getting the artwork done, all that kind of stuff, I get busy with that, and then that has to take the priority from me compared to this Your Band is a Business channel. So I've been quiet on here on YouTube for this channel, but for my own music, I've been busy, and it's going. I'm so happy with the music I'm putting out, and things are. And I've got a band, and so things are going well, and I'm happy about it. But then this channel doesn't really happen, right? I do post on TikTok a bit and on Instagram a little bit, but on YouTube it just dies. So I thought to myself, I do want to be active on YouTube, because I think it's a better community, a better platform for creating a community compared to TikTok and Instagram, which is a bit more ephemeral, really. So what I thought is, I need to absolutely lower the bar in terms of content creation. I need to just make it so easy for myself that I can do it regularly, and that means, okay, I'm just going to use this webcam, for example, to film myself, rather than setting up a camera and worrying about the light too much. I'm not going to worry about editing it, really. I'm just going to sit here and talk, and it doesn't matter if I need to take a sip of water or whether I need to look at the screen just to remember the points that I wanted to cover. Because that way I believe that I can then be more consistent in uploading, and I can share what what I'm really getting up to in terms of music and what I'm learning, and start a conversation with other musicians, because that's what I wanted to do, right? Is to create community and chat with other musicians, and learn, not just from these gurus, but from other people that are practically doing it. So yeah, that's the plan for your band as a business. I want to start doing a weekly vlog, and then I might, I'd still like to do kind of topical videos. For example, I want to do a video about signing up for I think it's the PLL or the PPL. I keep forgetting. It's one of these royalty collecting businesses, and it's based out of the UK, but they collect for around the world as well. And in the same way that I showed you how to sign up for the PRS, I want to make a video about that. I want to make videos about how I'm learning Logic and getting, learning all the intricacies of that. The practicalities of what I'm doing on TikTok and and social media in general. So I do want to do topical stuff, but again, I'll try and just not put pressure on myself to make it all nicely edited, as long as the information's there and and it's being presented clearly. That I'm not gonna worry about view rates and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, my ambition is not, I don't want to be a YouTuber, and I know, maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot and making this effort completely worthless by not thinking about those things. But I don't, that's effort that is then not going into my music and practicing my instruments and all that kind of stuff. If I have to think about editing and all that kind of stuff. Now, who knows, if the channel got big and then there was an income from ads or whatever, or a product or something, then I could invest money and time into it to spruce things up. But for now, I just want to sit here and talk about what I'm up to. Now, yeah, it's going to be just very chill, and that's what's happening going forward. Anyway, so I'm just going to look at my notes and see what I'm going to talk about. So yeah, in terms of my music, the recap is that in 2017, 2018, I started releasing music for the first time, kind of in the indie rock punk genre, and I had a band, but I felt that wasn't the music that I either created on my own or together with them was good, and I'm really happy with those recordings. But in terms of the band, we weren't really progressing, like not really getting many new people to come to the shows. And so I disbanded that band, and then I was kind of in limbo for a while, and then the thing happened with the disease around the world. And I released a song on my own, and then I started experimenting, learning Logic. A friend of mine got in touch and said, "Oh, do you have any music that you want me to mix?" And I thought, actually, I've got these experimental ideas that I'm working on. At the first, I thought I was going to give them to somebody else to rap over, but then I thought, you know what, I'll sing over it, and it'll be this hip hop beats inspired singer-songwriter music. And that was really good. Initially, I was afraid, oh no, I'm releasing music in a different genre, and this is not good because you're supposed to stick to a genre. But then I realized, look, I don't have a huge fan base. There's not millions of people out there going to be disappointed, so it doesn't matter. And I was glad that I did that, because I now feel that whatever happens, whether I have a band or other musicians around me or not, I can still make music and put it out there. So that's been really good. So yeah, I've got this mixing engineer friend that I sent that music to, and that was being released in the, I guess it was 2021, 22. And when the big disease ended, I started thinking about getting a band together again, which I did. Unfortunately, the drummer left, but I did rope him in to do some recordings for 6 songs, which I've been releasing over the past 6 months or so now. So I'm releasing a song every 2 months, basically. and the next one is out on the 13th of March, and then yeah, the rest are planned after that. And then I've got some other recordings that are being worked on, and I might do some live songs. So anyway, I've got basically the next year. I should, for the next, the rest of this year, I should be good in terms of releasing new music. But of course, I want to get ahead of myself and start planning for what comes after that. Anyway, so that's what's going on musically. So I'm out there. I'm releasing music. I'm promoting it on social media. I'm doing gigs, not as many as I would like. So I don't have a pro band. It's a mixture of volunteers and people that I hire in, and it's they're busy with their lives, day jobs or other bands they're in. So it's not easy to get everyone on the same page in terms of being free for a gig. But we've done a couple of gigs, and I'm still doing solo performances. I do a couple of open mic nights in London, but I'm quite particular about which ones I do. Open mics where there are regular people, not just musicians, so that people who can enjoy my music and become a fan as a non-musician, which is, I think, it is as great as it is to get support from fellow musicians and family. The best type of fan to develop is somebody that's a stranger to you, that only knows you through music. That's my belief, and I can talk about that sometime in the future. Anyway, so I'm doing it practically, and okay, let's talk about something practical. I've been active on TikTok for a while. I've been managing to get up to about 600, 700 views on average. For a long time I was just stuck at 200, so that was good. I was doing that mostly through photo posts. So I post a couple of photos, and then there's a hook on the first photo, and my music's playing underneath. And if you want to look me up on TikTok, look up Cornelis Gerard Official, so you can see the kind of content that I'm doing. But yeah, the big story recently is that I accidentally went viral, and that might be an interesting thing to talk about, because I posted a little bit of clickbait just as an experiment. Again, it was a photo post, and basically I saw this article about some musicians that were up for an award, music industry award, and how they went to expensive schools when they were children. And I kind of, I downloaded pictures of these celebrities, and I put them in the photo reel post. And I said, okay, they went to this school allegedly. I quoted the article, and this is how much it costs allegedly to go to this expensive school. And then at the end I said, there's a picture of me and saying I didn't go to an expensive school. I'm just a regular guy making music. Check it out. And of course, underneath, attached to this post was my song. Now, normally, as I said, at the moment, I'm getting 600 to 700 views. This one got, over the course of 2 days, 260,000 views. So it went completely viral compared to what I normally get, right? Hundreds of comments, shares, likes, 620 saves, I think it was. Now, a proportion of people were like, oh, I really like your music. A proportion of people were saying, I don't like your music, which is fine. But then there was just 90% of the comments were just about whether or not you need to be rich to make it in the music industry, whether or not these people deserve to have a career in music, whether, Now, I honestly don't really care about people's background, and it doesn't, a lot of these artists, I like their music. Just because somebody had a particular background doesn't mean that doesn't mean that they can't be good at music, doesn't mean they're not deserving of their career, and doesn't mean that they can't be good at music. But obviously, I take ownership of the fact that I was contrasting myself a little bit. They're like this, but I'm like this, and it was a bit of clickbait. So I take ownership of that. But the conversation in the comments was really negative, like back and forth between these two groups, really, about these people don't deserve a career, and others were like, it doesn't matter. But it was really nasty, and some of it was kind of reflected on me when people started saying, oh, you're really bitter, and it's not a good look to try and push other people down in order to lift yourself up, and this kind of stuff. And some people taking pot shots at my name, because my name is a Dutch name, but if you hear it in English, it can sound a bit pretentious maybe. So some people were saying, oh, with a name like that you must have a certain background, right? And it just felt like a lot of dark negative energy, and it felt like a mob that was about to get out of control. And I felt like this could easily go the wrong way where like people maybe try to dox me or something, like some crazed pop fans try and dox me or something like that. So in the end, I was monitoring my Spotify numbers, and there's no difference. At the moment, I'm on like 42 monthly listeners, and there was no uplift whatsoever. Maybe on other streaming platforms, but not on Spotify at least. Now the unknown for me is those saves, because I thought, okay, those people are saving. Are they saving this for the clickbait content, for the controversy, or are they saving it for the music? Now, I'm not naive to think that 100% we're saving it for the music, but I thought maybe what if 10 people are saving it for the music, or 15 people are saving. In the end, and I thought, well, maybe I should keep it up until they've got a chance to come back and check out the music. But in the end, I didn't like the atmosphere, so I put the post on hide. So apparently for TikTok, if you don't like a post anymore, don't delete it, but hide it. Apparently that's better for your algorithm. So anyway, that was quite the experience. I got 100 followers out of it, so I guess that's a positive. But none of my other posts saw an uplift, so people weren't watching that video or looking at that post and then checking out my other stuff. At least it must have been a completely tiny amount that I didn't notice. And I wasn't seeing an uplift on Spotify, even though there were people in the comments that said that they liked my song. So it just goes to show. Now, it's not a new lesson to me that, oh, sometimes you can go viral and it won't help your music. I knew that. That wasn't a big lesson to me. I think the big lesson for me was that not only can you potentially not have an upside, but there might be a downside. So that that's something to weigh up. It's like, okay, not only the best case is neutral if you go viral for something that isn't really about your music, but kind of that your music is hanging on to, but it's a different topic. It's music related, but not quite to do with you. So that's neutral. But then there's a potential downside of like really negative comments around your music. I don't want to be known as an artist as somebody that is against things. I want to be known as an artist that is for things. In my music, the underlying message is about believing in yourself and being positive, in authenticity. Despite the ups and downs of life, about persevering. And I don't want it to be about, oh, I'm against this or I'm against these people. It's not the kind of thing that I want to build my artistic identity around. Of course, part of an identity is what you're for and what you're against, but I want it to be mostly about what I'm for. So I want to be, if I'm going to go viral, I want it to be about my music and people enjoying the music. So in the end, I decided to hide the post, and part of me thinks, what if I'd chosen a different song? Because I chose what is my most popular song, but it's just a simple acoustic recording, and so it's polarizing in a way. It's like, if you like that raw vibe, then you're gonna like it. If you don't, which a lot of the people that were seeing this post, they're more into pop music, they're not gonna like it. And I have a song, Don't Be Jealous, which is potentially something that's more interesting to the average person, but that wasn't attached to it. So part of me thought, oh, what if I'd done a different song? And then I'm thinking, wow, what if I never have an opportunity? What if I never get this many people seeing my content as now? Maybe that was my big chance, and I should have left it up, no matter the consequences. But yeah, anyway, I took it down, so it is what it is, and I'll just focus on creating content that is not as easily interpreted as me being negative or bitter. And will I do that kind of clickbaity stuff in the future? Maybe. I can't categorically say that I'll never do it again, but I'll definitely think about the downsides and how something can be interpreted in a negative way, and maybe be a bit more light-hearted about it, because it wasn't quite clear from that post. So anyway, that was my viral TikTok moment. And like I said, like check out Cornelis Gerard official to see what I'm doing. For a while I was out of the 200 to 300 views. I was up to 600, 700 with either it was a photo post like a carousel, or a short clips of me performing live, whether with the band or on my own, and then either the sound, the live sound, or putting my own music over the top. Anyway, so check that out, and if I learn more about TikTok, I will of course share that with you. So anyway, plans for the future for my music. I've got a new song coming out on the 13th of March. I've got a gig on Sunday the 10th of March. It's an acoustic gig with a whole bunch of other artists. And so I'm out there releasing music, promoting it, and there's more music coming out over the course of the rest of the year. There's lots going on, and so I'm going to be sharing that in this just really casual format, not edited. I just want to be able to talk to you guys and upload it. That way you're getting the real deal, as it were, and that means that I can create this community, share a community with other musicians, independent musicians, where we learn from each other, where we support each other, and yet it doesn't take too much time away from me actually doing the music. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you're getting something out of this. Leave a comment if you do, and I'll speak to you again next week.